Hello friends, welcome to Madhu Law Classes. I am Gautam Dixit, सब्जेक्ट मैटर एक्सपर्ट जीके एंड करंट अफेयर्स। आज के वीडियो में हम द डेली हिंदू एनालिसिस में अगस्त 19 का एनालिसिस करेंगे। न्यूज़ की तरफ चलते हैं। द फर्स्ट न्यूज़ विच इज़ कमिंग इज दैट द तालिबान इन अफगानिस्तान हैज़ डिक्लेयर्ड दैट देयर विल बी नो डेमोक्रेसी एंड ओनली शरिया लॉ एंड हियर द तालिबान हैज सेड दैट दे आर इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ फॉर्मिंग द न्यू काउंसिल to govern Afghanistan, and overall charge may be taken by the Taliban chief Haibatullah Akhundzada. This is the important news, दो information इसमें important है। Next is the Shashi Tharoor discharged from Sunanda death case, जो from last 7.5 years this case was going on since 2014 when Sunanda Pushkar she died in a luxury hotel suite in the New Delhi. Now so Shashi Tharoor has been cleared of all the charges. उसके बाद the important news which is coming is that Supreme Court has allowed women to take NDA exam. जो NDA exam होता है it is for the selection of officers for the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force. So now women can also take this exam. ये exam जो है वो UPSC conduct कराती है। The next is about the सुल्ली डील्स। इसके बारे में पिछले मंथ में न्यूज़ था। सुल्ली डील्स, पहली बात, सुल्ली इज़ अ वेरी derogatory term as was used for the women of particular religion, and now what has happened that there is one hosting platform called as GitHub. वहाँ पे कुछ मुस्लिम वुमेन की तस्वीर आई विदाउट देयर परमिशन, ओके, एंड दैट हैज़ लेड टू Delhi police to file a complaint and to send a legal notice to GitHub. Since GitHub is based in foreign country, so they have said that the Delhi police can approach them through mutual legal assistance treaty. So mutual legal assistance treaty is a treaty between two countries to cooperate in investigation and to punish the culprit. The next one is Assam detention centers for foreigners renamed transit camps. So as we know, the NRC, the National Register for Citizens exercise is going on in Assam, and under the Foreigners Act there has been a foreign tribunal established. So whosoever is unable to produce enough documents for citizenship, they are being transferred to the transit camps. These transit camps are in Dibrugarh, Gwalpara, Jorhat, Kokrajhar, Silchar and Tezpur. Now they have been named as transit camps. तो जो फॉरेन डिटेंशन कैंप्स था उससे अब इसका नाम हो गया है ट्रांजिट कैंप। उसके बाद दिस इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, दिस इज द टॉक अबाउट महर्षि दयानंद यूनिवर्सिटी इन रोहतक। इन दिस ईयर्स टोक्यो ओलंपिक अबाउट 30 स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन्स फ्रॉम हरियाणा टुक पार्ट इन टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स। आउट ऑफ दैट 12 were from महर्षि दयानंद यूनिवर्सिटी, and this university is also the one which has produced 27 Arjuna awardees since 1976. It is also considered as a sports nursery of Haryana. Past में 4 of the Olympic medalists, boxer Vijender Singh, wrestler Yogeshwar Dutt, Sakshi Malik and Dahiya, means Ravi Dahiya, they all are from Maharishi Dayanand University. So we have already done over here. इसके बारे में फॉरेन अफेयर्स के पेपर्स में एनालिसिस आया है, हम उस पर ज़्यादा ध्यान देंगे। So the only thing which you want to remember over here is that earlier the Taliban regime was there from in Afghanistan from 1996 to 2001. Now Collegium recommends 8 judges for Supreme Court. Out of that 3 are women. So B.V. Nagaratna and Hima Kohli, they are also the part of the Collegium. Process क्या है कि the Supreme Court Collegium consisting of CJI and 4 senior most judges according to the Third Judges Act. Second Judges Act जो है, Second Judges Act, it established the Collegium system. The Third Judges Act expanded this Collegium system to 5. So now there are 5 judges in the Collegium system. So now the Collegium system, they recommend these names to the government, then government takes the final decision, and then the judges are appointed under the oath by the President of India. Now the question may be asked that who were the part of this Collegium. So CJI, along with that Justice U.U. Lalit, A.M. Khanvilkar, D.Y. Chandrachud and L. Nageshwara Rao, they were the part of this Collegium. उसके बाद यहाँ पे एक इंफॉर्मेशन आता है कि दैट विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सेलिब्रेट्स वांचुआ फेस्टिवल, which of the following states celebrates the Wanchua festival. So the Wanchua festival is celebrated by the tribesmen in the Kabri Along district of Assam. The next is about the government adopts the differing stance for on snooping. तो यहाँ पे एक है कि अगर हम देखें तो who has the power to give permission for interception of calls. तो इंटरसेप्शन ऑफ कॉल, ये पावर जो है वो होम सेक्रेटरी के पास है. द पावर इज अंडर द सेक्शन 5(2) ऑफ द इंडियन टेलीग्राफ एक्ट 1885, रूल 419A ऑफ इंडियन टेलीग्राफ एक्ट, एंड देन द इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी एक्ट 2000 along with the information technology procedure and safeguards for interception, monitoring and decryption of information rules 2009. बट जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट में एफिडेविट फाइल किया, so that was filed by the not by the home secretary, it was filed by the information and technology means minister of state for communication, who is देवू सिंह चौहान. इन्होंने फाइल किया, जबकि होम सेक्रेटरी या होम अफेयर्स मिनिस्ट्री को फाइल करना चाहिए था. Amid अफगान क्राइसिस, जयशंकर कट शॉर्ट यूएस विजिट. जैसे हमने कल पढ़ा था दैट देयर वाज अ मीटिंग गोइंग ऑन ऑफ द कैबिनेट कमिटी ऑन सिक्योरिटी, जहाँ पे एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स मिनिस्टर को भी पार्टिसिपेट करना पड़ता है, बट सिंस ही वाज ऑन टूर ही कुड नॉट अटेंड द मीटिंग. यहाँ पे जो इम्पॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन है वो ये है, दैट टू हेल्प प्रोटेक्ट यूएन पीस कीपर्स जयशंकर. तो यहाँ पे एक टेक्नोलॉजिकल प्लेटफॉर्म लॉन्च किया गया है विद द पार्टनरशिप ऑफ यूनाइटेड नेशन विच इज़ यूनिट अवेयर. नाउ दिस यूनिट अवेयर, इसका ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? टू हेल्प एनहांस द सेफ्टी ऑफ यूएन पीस कीपर्स. एंड यहाँ पे यूएन पीस कीपिंग फोर्स होता है, सो दे आर द पीस कीपिंग फोर्स. कहीं पे भी अगर कोई टेंशन चल रहा है, कोई एथनिक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चल रहा है, तो वहाँ पे द पीस कीपर्स फोर्स बाय द यूनाइटेड नेशंस आर एम्प्लॉयड. यहाँ पे लोग दे डोंट टेक मिलिट्री एक्शंस. द पीस कीपर्स they are not taking any military actions against any group. They just try to maintain the peace in the area. So यहाँ पे गोली चलाना या किसी को मारना ये इनका ऑब्जेक्टिव नहीं होता है. द ओनली ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू मेंटेन द पीस. नाउ यूनिट अवेयर, इट वाज लॉन्च्ड बाय इंडिया इन द पार्टनरशिप विद यूएन. व्हाई? बिकॉज इंडिया इज द मेजर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग नेशन टू द यूएन पीस कीपिंग एक्टिविटी. सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. उसके बाद डेज ऑफ 50% ऑफ कैप आर नंबर्ड. यहाँ पे बात चल रहा है मंडल 1, मंडल 2, मंडल 3 का. सो व्हेन मंडल 1 मीन्स, यहाँ पे मंडल 1 मीन्स दैट 27% रिजर्वेशन फॉर ओबीसी इन गवर्नमेंट जॉब. मंडल 2 मीन्स 27% रिजर्वेशन फॉर ओबीसी फॉर admissions to higher educational institutions. Now what can will be the Mandal 3? So if you will see the Indra Savni case, which we discussed earlier also, the Indra Savni case has put a cap on reservation, that is 50%. That is 50%. Now if we see the total population of backward classes, so the total population of backward classes according to the Mandal Commission itself was 52%, but they were given only 27% reservation. So what happens is that the same thing which happened in Maratha reservation, that when the reservation was given to the Maharashtra, for Marathas in Maharashtra, this 50% limit was exceeding. That's why the Supreme Court declared that reservation as invalid. Now there is a growing clamor in Indian political landscape that this for 50% cap should be given up, and all the party they have the consensus on this, removing the 50% cap. Now coming to India can do more, hints climate official. यहाँ पे जो इम्पोर्टेंट है वो ये है कि COP क्लाइमेट कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ पार्टीज 26 होने जा रहा है ग्लासगो में. उसके पहले क्या हुआ कि IPCC का रिपोर्ट आया. Now IPCC report has hinted that world should do more to stop the emission of global greenhouse gases. इसमें ये भी बताया गया है कि जो हम नेट ज़ीरो एमिशन 2050 में टारगेट कर रहे हैं उसको 2050 से पहले ही करना पड़ेगा. तो यहाँ पे जो आप लोगों को इम्पॉर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन है वो ये है दैट व्हाट आर द वेरियस स्टेप्स टेकन बाय द कंट्री एंड व्हाट आर द स्टेप्स टेकन बाय इंडिया एंड व्हाट इज़ द इशू. सो दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल फॉर टुडे. सो आई विल गिव टाइम ओवर हियर. पहली बात तो ये है कि we have to discuss about carbon neutrality. Carbon neutrality means that the total emission of carbon is offset by total absorption of carbon. So every country should pledge for net zero carbon emission. So by 2050, at least 5 countries have pledged for net zero emission by 2050, which includes USA, Australia, Singapore also. But अगर हम चाइना की बात करें, which is the world's biggest emitter, तो China has committed to achieve the net zero emission by 2060. USA has approved to achieve the net zero emission by 2050, and after 2030 they will decrease their emission by 50%. Then India is among the major country which has not approved of any net zero emission target. On the other hand, India says that the per capita emission in India is very low, means India's per capita has the lowest per capita consumptions as compared to China and USA. Then where the India is focusing, so India is focusing on its NDC. Now this is very important, India's NDC, nationally determined contribution. तो इंडिया के NDC 3 NDCs हैं इंडिया के. The first is that reducing the emission intensity of GDP by 33 to 35%, then increasing the share of non-fossil based energy resources to 40% of installed electric power capacity by 2030. Then the third one is to create the additional carbon sink of 2.5 to 3 gigaton of carbon dioxide equivalent through additional forest and tree cover by 2030. इसके साथ साथ इंडिया ने कुछ एडिशनल कमिटमेंट भी किया है. वो क्या है? 450 गीगावाट ऑफ रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी बाय 2030, of which 100 gigawatt has been already installed. Now if you just read this line again, you will see that reducing the percentage of coal based electricity to 40%, it depends upon the what the funds India gets from the international fora or थ्रू ग्रीन क्लाइमेट फंड. यहाँ पे ग्रीन क्लाइमेट फंड की बात नहीं हुई है, बट द ग्रीन क्लाइमेट फंड इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इट इज बेस्ड इन इंचियन इन साउथ कोरिया. नाउ देयर इज अ टारगेट ऑफ क्रिएटिंग ग्रीन क्लाइमेट फंड ऑफ $100 billion टू फंड डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज टू डेवलप क्लीन एनर्जी एंड मिटिगेशन टेक्निक्स. तो ये जो $100 billion फंड है ये अभी तक तैयार नहीं हुआ है, एंड दिस इज द मेजर प्रॉब्लम that why developing countries like India cannot make the technological transition for mitigation of climate change. उसके साथ साथ the Union Cabinet it ratified the Kigali Amendment to Montreal Protocol. Montreal Protocol जो है it is the protocol to limit the hydrochlorofluorocarbons which are emitted from refrigerators and air conditioners and which destroys the ozone layer. The Kigali Agreement is an improvement over Montreal Protocol. Now Kigali Amendment covers hydrofluorocarbon. So the goal of Kigali Agreement is to reduce the hydrofluorocarbon emissions by 80 to 85% by 2050. Now India has ratified it. The Cabinet of India has approved it. नाउ सेंटर टू बूस्ट ऑयल पाम फार्मिंग. तो जैसे कि हमने पहले भी डिस्कस किया था, एक 5 साल के लिए एक नया टेक्नोलॉजिकल मिशन आया है एग्रीकल्चर में, विच इज़ नेशनल मिशन ऑन एडिबल ऑयल्स ऑयल पाम. इसका टोटल आउटले जो है वो है 11,040 करोड़. आपके क्लैट में कभी कभी आउटले भी पूछ लेते हैं. सो दे आर गोइंग टू टारगेट इंक्रीजिंग द ऑयल पाम एक्रेज बाय एन एडिशनल 6.5 lakh hectares by 2025 to 26 and to grow the production of crude palm oil to 11.2 lakh tons by 2025 to 2026. इसके साथ साथ गवर्नमेंट ने प्रॉमिस किया है टू एस्टेब्लिश अ प्राइस मैकेनिज्म. प्राइस मैकेनिज्म का मतलब, नाउ सी इफ एवरी फार्मर स्टार्ट कल्टिवेटिंग ऑयल पाम, so the oil palm will be in surplus in domestic market. So what can happen in future? The prices of oil palm may go down, so the farmers may suffer loss. So the government has established the price mechanism that in the case the oil prices goes down in the market, then center will pay the difference in price to the farmers through direct benefit transfer. So this is very important thing. The next one is that government is specially focusing on Northeast India and Andaman and Nicobar for the cultivation of palm oil. उसके बाद एक वन लाइनर आ रहा है, इंडिया वियतनाम नेवीज होल जॉइंट एक्सरसाइज So the navies of India and Vietnam undertook a bilateral exercise in South China Sea. Okay, यहाँ से इंडिया से किसने पार्टिसिपेट किया था? So the guided missile destroyer INS Ranvijay and missile corvette INS Kora undertook the exercise along with Vietnam People's Navy frigate Lai Thai To. Now again the one-liner, very important, that the Cabinet of India in the central government has approved agreement between the Indian Council of Medical Research and Swiss Research Agency to promote collaboration on diagnostic and antimicrobial resistance. The memorandum of understanding was signed with Switzerland's Foundation for Innovative New Diagnostics in February. Now there is another agreement signed with GARTB Foundation on Antimicrobial Resistant Research and Innovation, which was signed in March, and now they have got the cabinet approval. Now what is the aim? The Swiss Foundation का aim होता है to develop and deliver improved antibiotic treatments and to ensure access to everyone. Now 3 killed in anti-Taliban protest, militants destroy statue of foe. अब यहाँ पे क्या हुआ कि फैजलाबाद करके एक सिटी है अफगानिस्तान में, वहाँ पे द पीपल वर सेलिब्रेटिंग अफगानिस्तान इंडिपेंडेंस डे. दिस इंडिपेंडेंस डे मीन्स द डे व्हेन अफगानिस्तान गॉट इंडिपेंडेंस फ्रॉम British rule in 1919. So they lowered the Taliban flag and the Afghanistan flag was flew over there, and this triggered the killing. Then this is very important, what's next for Afghanistan. तो यहाँ पे what can be the next step for Afghanistan, ये थोड़ा important article है. It is an explainer article. So whatever explainer article we get, it becomes important for our understanding. You should read it. So let's have an important points over here. So the first important point is that Taliban are yet to form the transition government, and their leaders, which include Amir Khan Mutqi, who is the former information minister, they are currently in talk with the former president Hamid Karzai and Abdullah and Hizb-e-Islami leader and former warlord Gulbuddin Hekmatyar. मतलब एक गवर्नमेंट बनाने की कोशिश की जा रही है थ्रू तालिबान. देन तालिबान जो गवर्नमेंट का नाम देगा, इट विल बी इस्लामिक एमिरेट ऑफ अफगानिस्तान. अभी करेंटली क्या नाम है अफगानिस्तान का? तो इट इज़ द इस्लामिक रिपब्लिक. अब रिपब्लिक विल बी रिप्लेस्ड बाय एमिरात. नाउ व्हाई रिपब्लिक विल बी रिप्लेस्ड बाय एमिरात? क्योंकि रिपब्लिक का मतलब होता है दैट द हेड ऑफ द स्टेट इज इलेक्टेड, बट नाउ अंडर द तालिबान रूल द हेड ऑफ द स्टेट विल नॉट बी इलेक्टेड, so they are going to replace the name with Islamic Emirat. And the Mullah Hibatullah Akhundzada, he would be the Emir of Afghanistan. So these are the two important information over here. Now there is a growing perception that Taliban is talking of power sharing. Has Taliban changed? So if we see that people, they fear the Taliban regime, which went from 1996 to 2012, where all the basic rights to the people were denied, and there was the very brutal form of punishment like amputation, flogging and stoning. Then there was the falling of Bamiyan Buddha's statue, which was televised prominently. So these are some of the problems which is happening. At the same time, there were restrictions for women also. They were not allowed to go in public without male accompanying them. There was cases of forced marriage. Then there were public executions, beating. All this happened with the women. So these are some of the concerns that why people fear the regime of Taliban. उसके बाद चाइना ने एक कंडीशन पुट कर दिया है that China won't recognize Taliban until government formation. So this is the strong indictment from China to the Taliban that they will not be recognized by China until they form the national government. Now वाई चाइना इज़ वरीड? तो जैसे कि हमने कल डिस्कस किया था कि चाइना का जो सबसे बड़ा वरी है वो है ईस्ट तुर्किस्तान इस्लामिक मूवमेंट विच हैज़ कैरिड आउट अटैक इन चाइना जिंगजियांग रीजन. सो दिस इज़ द प्रॉब्लम ऑफ China with Afghanistan. So China fears that the militants of East Turkestan Islamic movement may take shelter in Afghanistan. They can carry out attack in Xinjiang province. Then China to curb excessive income and push for common prosperity. it means that China is now working against big companies, and China wants to end this monopoly of big companies in China, including Alibaba. Then April-June GDP growth to be deceptively high at 27%. ये बहुत ही अच्छा न्यूज़ है। इसमें क्या बोल रहा है, इसको टेक्निकलिटी समझो। दैट इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज बेस लेवल, जो मैं आप लोगों को पढ़ाते आ रहा हूँ। मैंने कहा है कि अगर आपका पिछले साल का ग्रोथ बहुत ही कम था, मीन्स इट वॉज वेरी लेस, तो इस साल का हल्का सा भी ग्रोथ विल प्रोड्यूस वेरी हाई ग्रोथ रेट। मीन्स सपोज दैट लास्ट ईयर द ग्रोथ रेट वॉज इन नेगेटिव जोन लाइक -24%. नाउ सपोज दिस ईयर द ग्रोथ इज जस्ट 1%. नाउ जस्ट see the difference is now of 25, okay, 25, and now we are in negative zone. So as compared to the last level, this year growth rate will be very high, even if we achieve very nominal, very small growth rate, which may not be comparable to pre-pandemic level. So this is what it is saying, that because of this low base, the growth rate might appear to be very high as 20%, but it will be misleading. Then RBI to buy rupees 25,000 crore of bonds in August 26. इस न्यूज़ में ये है कि एक गवर्नमेंट का प्रोग्राम है, गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी एक्विजिशन प्रोग्राम, सॉरी इट इज़ अ प्रोग्राम ऑफ रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। इस प्रोग्राम में क्या होता है, द रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया विल परचेज एन गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी ऑफ वर्थ rupees 25,000 crore from open market. So what will happen with this, that it will lead to the RBI will buy 5 government securities aggregating to rupees 25,000 crore. So यहाँ पे government security RBI will buy, means the money will flow in the market. We are already going through the revival phase after COVID second surge. So this program will help in enhancing the liquidity in the market so that investment can revive. Then the WTO report has come that the global goods trade continues recovery. WTO का एक barometer है which is called as goods trade barometer, according to which the trade in goods are now increasing over here. So this has led to recovery on global demand, but there are certain challenges to it. That what are the challenges to the world trade, such as regional disparities in services and lagging vaccination timetable. These two are significant risks to the global recovery. Then this news is very important. Historic mixed relay bronze for India. So the under 18 World Athletics under 18 championships in Nairobi. So 4x400 meter relay race, the India has won the medal over here, bronze medal over here in 4x400 meter relay. This is the India's first medal in 4x400 meter relay competition which is organized in Nairobi. क्वेश्चन जो आपको आ सकता है वो ये आ सकता है, तो एक टीम के बारे में, so that who in which sports India won the bronze medal. So it is 4x400 meter relay. Second is that they can ask you that World Athletics under 20 championship was held where. So it was held in Nairobi. ये जो आर्टिकल है इज रीडिंग फॉर यू, इसमें जो अफगानिस्तान में जो अभी तक हम डिस्कस करते हुए आए हैं उसी के बारे में है। यहाँ पे एक G7 का एक आता है दैट कि हमको अगर तालिबान को अगर रोकना है अफगानिस्तान में और एट्रोसिटीज़ कमिट करने से, देन इट रिक्वायर्स द ग्लोबल बैकलैश। सिर्फ कुछ कंट्रीज़ बैकलैश करेंगी तो उससे कुछ नहीं होगा। ऑल कंट्रीज शुड टुगेदर दे कैन कंडम द एक्शन ऑफ Taliban and they can put pressure on Afghanistan to stop the atrocities and to govern the country according to the rule of law. इसमें खास करके जो रोल है वो G7 का बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो G7 फॉरेन मिनिस्टर्स मीट में दे ऑलरेडी एक्सप्रेस सपोर्ट टू द दोहा एग्रीमेंट। तो दोहा एग्रीमेंट में क्या हुआ था कि देयर वर 4 पॉइंट्स। द फर्स्ट वाज दैट द US विल लीव Afghanistan. Second was that Taliban will not commit any violence. The third was Taliban will not allow any foreign terrorists to have to share their territory for carrying out attacks in another countries. These were some of the important points of Doha agreement. The fourth point was that Taliban will share the power. So यहाँ पे they can come together and they can push Afghanistan Taliban to honor the Doha Agreement. Then we already discussed about the remission of duties and taxes on exported products last day, that is to mop up the export growth. So why this is needed? Because right now the world is going through the global recovery, so this is the best moment to wrap up to prop up exports, especially in those sectors where the export is lagging, by giving them concessions and subsidies or rebates on duties. तो हम लोग कल पहले बात कर रहे थे कि there are certain domestic duties on certain articles which can make them uncompetitive in global market. So in order to make those duties as zero, which can be local taxes or state taxes, this scheme is very necessary. Then ये आर्टिकल में ऐसे सच फैक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, but this article is very important. This type of articles mainly they come in English passage also, so this is very important. यहाँ पे जो author है, she is discussing about the implications of no data. For example, अगर हम गवर्नमेंट को देखें तो हमारे पास बहुत चीज़ों के डेटा नहीं है. For example, if we talk about the migrants, that how many people were there, how many people migrated from city to the urban rural area during the COVID-19, गवर्नमेंट के पास वो डेटा नहीं है. जबकि वर्ल्ड बैंक कहता है कि there were about 40 million migrant jobs which were lost in India in April 2020. Then if there is no data with the government about how many frontline health workers lost their lives, then we don't have any data about, like there was a household consumer expenditure survey which was conducted by National Statistical Office during 2017-18. Now the National Statistical Office, CPI भी यही बॉडी निकालती है, National Statistical Office. It comes under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, but these results were not published. So there are similar data that we are not getting access to it. So what this article is saying basically is that there is a widening information gap because of the lack of data. Now the author gives its her reasoning that because of the lack of data, the asymmetric relationship between government and citizen, it increases, it widens. Second, it gives states chance to have a rule which is not backed by data. So if citizens, they do not have data, so they cannot evaluate their government. So this gives government an upper hand vis-a-vis citizens. So this is very important, not from the information point of view, but from knowing the perspective. For example, when this parliament was going on, what happened that there was, except Andhra Pradesh, no states gave data on that how many deaths occurred due to lack of oxygen. So such type of crucial data has to be available so that the citizen can take informed decisions on policy issues related to government. Then keeping an eye on China's expanding nuclear stack. यहाँ पे जो बात हो रही है वो ये हो रहा है कि चाइना जो है एक ऐसा आइडियोलॉजी फॉलो कर रहा है कि जिसमें China wants to neutralize the first strike by any nation including US, India and Russia. कि first strike कोई भी nuclear, for example कि if China and USA are in fight and now China को पता है कि if US launches an nuclear missile towards it, then there will be destruction in China. So China is coming up with a strategy so that it can make that first strike of any nation ineffective. तो यहाँ पे जो बात हो रही है वो हो रही है कि China is constructing the nuclear missile silo field in Xinjiang region in western China. Xinjiang region अभी हमने बात किया, उसी region की बात हो रही है. It is very close to India. So the site is believed to host 110 nuclear silos. Then there are evidence that China has built 120 silos in the arid region of Yunnan in Gansu provinces. तो यहाँ की जो ऑथर है, they are giving the reason that the most likely reason is that in China wants to increase the survivability of its arsenal against the first strike. ये बहुत ही important है कि चाइना जो है वो किसी भी कंट्री का फर्स्ट स्ट्राइक जो होता है उसको न्यूट्रलाइज करना चाहती है, मोस्ट प्रोमिनेंटली यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स का। ओके अच्छा, यहाँ पे द सेकेंड थिंग इज अबाउट रेट एंड एक्सटेंट इज द की। यहाँ पे जो चाइना की जो बात हो रही है, द ऑथर्स आर सेइंग कि वॉट एवर बी द स्टॉक पाइल, द रेट विद विच द चाइना इज डेवलपिंग द स्टॉक पाइल, दैट इज वरीसम, that is very very worrisome. So right now we will see the Chinese nuclear warhead stands something between 252 to 350 nuclear warheads according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute and as well as Federation of American Scientists. साथ साथ में there is one more thing that China is not ready for any deal, जैसे कि मिसाइल कंट्रोल रिजीम डील जो होते हैं कि there is like certain deals like a START treaty between US and Russia. They tried to diffuse the tension between US and Russia by mandating them not to produce any more nuclear weapons. So here this is the problem. Here the author is giving the exact reason that why China is going for it. So you will see that indeed some of the decoy silos are meant to absorb and exhaust a part of the enemy's first strike nuclear forces. Then the greater the chances of China's arsenal surviving as a first strike, thereby boosting the credibility of China's nuclear deterrent. So these are the important information over here. Now there are two missiles of China, intercontinental ballistic missile capabilities and intermediate range ballistic missile capabilities in the form of Dongfeng 41 and DF-26. At least 16 launchers of the DF-26 are known to be deployed in the Xinjiang region close to Sino-Indian border, and this gives cause of worry to India. So this makes India to be watchful of what China is doing, because India is already having a border dispute and China can use this nuclear stack as a deterrent against India, especially when the new friction points like Depsang, Demchok, Hot Springs and Gogra have emerged between India and China border dispute. Then these are articles with strong opinions. So over here why we watch sport, तो इसमें जैसे कि अगर आप कुछ इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्ट्स पहले हम देख लेते हैं जो आपके एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बहुत ही ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है। तो इम्पॉर्टेंट फैक्ट्स जो हैं, इट इज़ over here symbol of political nationalism. So if you will see the original intent behind Olympic Games, so in the original conception the Olympic Games were meant to serve as an antithesis for nationalistic zealotry. मैं इसको आपको थोड़ा सा इसका हिस्ट्री बताऊंगा। The founder of the games, the 19th century French aristocrat Paris de Coubertin, envisioned the Olympics as a means of engineering a sporting culture that would remain apolitical. ये जो 19th सेंचुरी का टाइम था पूरा, 1896 में जब ये गेम्स चालू हुआ, तो इसका जो पूरा था कि वो उस वक्त जो यूरोप में जो कंडीशन था, इट वाज फुल ऑफ हाइपर नेशनलिज्म एंड मिलिट्रियलिज्म वाज ग्रोइंग एंड देयर वाज अ फियर ऑफ वॉर. सो दैट डिफ्यूज दैट टेंशन ऑफ हाइपर नेशनलिज्म, द ओलंपिक गेम वाज started in 1896. So if you will see the Berlin Olympics 1936 में, उस वक्त जर्मनी में हिटलर का रूल था. It was organized in Berlin with the same purpose, that to have the more broader view than the narrow view of nationalism. यहाँ पे ऑथर डिस्कस करता है कि हमने स्पोर्ट्स को हार और जीत में कन्वर्ट कर दिया है. So means what? That we have associated the sports, first of all we have associated sports with how many medals we are winning in the sport. Then this is again what is going against the intent of Olympic Games. So that's what is that sports as a cultural good is never promoted, but it is always seen as again the dominance of nation. For example, अगर आप देखेंगे तो यूएस और चाइना में हमेशा कंपटीशन रहता है that who is getting highest medal in Olympics. Then the police we need, तो यहाँ पे there are certain problems reflected in this article related to police. One of the problem is that the top officials, they are getting posting not based on the merit but according to their political connections. But here in this paragraph, the authors are saying that what type of police we need. So we need a police, we need a citizen friendly police which treats the rich and poor alike. At the same time, that police stations, we must see less rapacious police stations where they receive service to which they are entitled without having to put any bribe. So these are the type of policing we need in India, especially in the 21st century. So that's the ideal situation what they are trying to say over here, that the officers must be chosen to occupy public positions based on their objectivity and skill, but unfortunately it is not the case in India. Then again opinion based article, a moral disaster for the West. तो यहाँ पे जो है डिस्कस यही हुआ है कि हाउ अमेरिका हैज़ फेल्ड द अफगानिस्तान and the similar case has been followed by what was followed in Vietnam and other parts of the world. So now coming to this paragraph, so this paragraph is like history of America. So if you will see that Vietnam, they first fight in Vietnam. After that what happens, that they suddenly switch side with they first fight in Vietnam, then they leave the Vietnam war in between. But what happened in Vietnam, there was a strong ruler and the transition to stable government was possible. Then USA, according to their interest, they switched side, they left Taiwan and they switched side to People's Republic of China, and then they gave unflinching support to the Pakistan even during the India-Pakistan War of 1971, and US sent its USS Enterprise 7 fleet to intimidate India at that point of time. After that, after the Russian invasion in Afghanistan, the Americans, they funded the Mujahideen, and which then later led to the birth of terrorist organizations like Taliban, and then there was the attack on the US which led to the US intervention in Afghanistan. So the author says over here that this 20 years when the US invaded the Afghanistan, it has been of disaster, because ultimately what has happened, that US had entered Afghanistan to eliminate Taliban, but after 20 years Taliban is back in power. So that's all for today. So we will not meet tomorrow because tomorrow is holiday on the occasion of Muharram. We will meet day after tomorrow. So we will do tomorrow's newspaper and that day newspaper together. So let's meet on that day. Thank you everyone. Have a nice day.